guys. Good October 1st. What day of the week is it?
Hold on, I'm looking.
Because we're not recording this day.
It's Wednesday.
Hey, good Wednesday, everybody.
Or in theory, you can listen to a podcast whenever you want.
It doesn't matter what day it is. All we know is this episode just came out on October the 1st. And, man, we're excited. Stephen Bell right here as part of the voice of Camp Nathaniel from the campus of Camp Nathaniel in Emelina, Kentucky. And with me, as always, sitting right across the table from me is the squizzlefied.
This is Lee Sharp.
The squizzlefied Lee Sharp.
There's been a lot of S words.
There has been.
If you've been listening for the past few episodes, or if you want to go back, we've had a lot of S.
Yep. Squizzlefied. Ready? This may or may not be a real word. I don't know. Squizzlefied. The meaning: hyped up on sugar, chaos, or possibly glitter. You want me to use it in a sentence? I can.
No, my question is, if I try to play this word in Scrabble, how many people are going to want to pull out the dictionary on me and be like, that's not a real word, Lee?
Yeah, I know. All right, usage, squizzlefied. All right?
Squizzlefied, okay.
After one cupcake, the kids were fully squizzlefied and climbing the fridge. See, you understand that because you're kids. See? Climbing the fridge.
No, I have a picture in my head.
I know you do.
It's my own children, yes.
That's right.
All four of them.
Oh, wow.
Climbing all over the walls, yeah.
So there you go, man. There you go. Hey, we've got a guest in the studio with us, and I'm actually, I'm not fully on staff at camp anymore. I've got pastoral duties that I need to attend to, and right now in the midst of us recording this, I have to go and have some text conversations, maybe make a phone call or two, and then I'm going to be back in the studio, so I'm going to leave you and our guest to kind of get acquainted and start having the conversation, and I'll jump back in, all right?
If you hear the doors opening and closing, it's Steven.
That's right.
Making a bunch of noise here.
Awesome. Stay squizzlefied, all right?
Prepare for some...
All right, I'll be back in a second. Take it over, Luke.
Okay. So we hear him clunk.
Yep, there you go.
And now he's walking.
For all of our... You don't have to give commentary.
Of course we do. They don't have visuals here. This is all done on audio. He just walked out the door, guys.
And that was the door slamming.
That was the door slamming.
Yeah.
I have a guest here with me. This is Noah.
Hello, my name's Noah.
Noah, what is your last name again? I'm trying to remember
my last name
now.
is Caissie. It's kind of like a French last name, so I'm not going to spell it, but it's
Noah
Caissie.
Caissie.
Yeah.
Okay, so Noah, you came in to be our missionary speaker this week.
Yep.
For all of our listeners, if you're unfamiliar, when we have a week of camp, we have like a speaker that comes in and talks during the chapel times, but we also have someone who comes in and speaks during what's called missionary hour. And the purpose of missionary hour is to bring in, missionaries from all over the place. And the goal there is to introduce kids to all the different forms that ministry comes in, because depending on how it's almost like an exposure thing. Like, hey, we want you to see all of these different people all over the world serving God in all these different ways. And so, no, you were filling that role this week.
Yes, I was. And it's been pretty crazy to see kids that are hungry for hearing the different types of ministries that are going on within the church.
So it's kind of fun there. So I'll start off here because we'll do a little bit of intro. Where are you from originally?
I am originally from Canada. I moved down here to the States about a year ago.
Okay.
And now I'm living in Knoxville, Tennessee.
In Knoxville, Tennessee. Gotcha. Which part of Canada are we talking now?
We're talking New Brunswick. So those that are listening, if you think of a map of the United States, you go to Maine, and then another 5.5 hours northeast of Maine, kind of on the water there.
Gotcha. You were describing going to the beach.
Yes.
Before we were recording, and I was questioning, because if you're like me, I grew up in Kentucky.
Okay.
I didn't grow up in Eastern Kentucky, but I grew up in Kentucky, and in my head, Canada is
not beachy.
It's not beachy. It's a very cold place, and so maybe that's just me being mistaken, because you were describing summer like it was 80 degrees and...
Yeah, the summer can be 80 degrees. Most of the time it is like the high 70s, but us as Canadians, we can handle the cold. So even at 60 degrees, 50 degrees, I'll go to the beach and I'll enjoy that water because the Lord is good.
There's people hanging out at the beach at 50 degrees.
Maybe not a lot of people, but I am.
There's the handful of people that are doing that there. There we go. Okay, so we brought you in as the missionary speaker. So how, I'll go on and ask the question now, how have you served as a missionary? Because we know that I've heard like bits, and I've come upstairs. When we do our missionary hour, we do it in the chapel here. And I work down in the office downstairs, doing finances, different things. And so I hear a little bit, and I come upstairs, and I've heard like bits and pieces of what you do.
Okay.
But I don't know if I've gotten the full picture yet. So what was the mission, I guess?
So I've served in different capacities in missions work over the last 10 years.
Okay.
First, I moved to Northern Ireland, and I was working for an organization there called Drop-In Ministries. With them, I kind of did humanitarian aid work and maintenance within their campus there in Northern Ireland, and then traveled to places like Southeast Asia and a lot of Europe, and had a chance to go into Russia and these different places.
Very cool.
And then moving forward from that, went back to Canada to go to school. I felt like a need to learn how to do construction, and a need to go to Bible college, because if you're working for the Lord, you probably should know more about the Lord. So I went to Bible college.
There you
go. From that, I just felt more and more desire to be back on the mission field and seek out what that means for me, and what that means to further the kingdom. And I had a great opportunity to go work for Operations Mobilization and their ships that they have called Good Books for All Ships, and served on their 2 different ships. They have a Logos Hope and a Doulos Hope, and I served over 2 years with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was told very specifically by someone else who served on these ships. There's a clarification of they are ships.
Yes.
They are not
They're
boats.
not boats.
They are not boats. I made that mistake. I think it was last year. I was like, so was it nice hanging out on that boat? And then like the look that I was given in that moment of like, don't you dare call it a boat.
I think every single crew member ever has been like, don't dare call it a boat, because it is a ship.
It is a ship.
It is a ship.
So if you're picturing this in your head, you can. It's quite literally that. Don't think boat.
Yeah.
Because when I think boat, I think small. It's kind of like my perception there of the Canadian beach. It's wrong. Don't think boat. Don't think small.
Yeah.
Think ship. Like there's, I forget how many people are on some of these ships.
The Logos Hope has roughly around 370 people, and the Doulos Hope roughly has around 100 people. It is about a third or a quarter of the size of the Logos Hope, but the Logos Hope is definitely a ship. And we found out the definition of ship or boat this week. A boat is something that stays kind of close to shore, and a ship that goes long distances across oceans. So that's kind of the deciding factor of what a ship and a boat is.
Interesting.
I just found that out yesterday. So we're in the same boat.
Okay.
There you go.
So we've learned something new. If you didn't know that, there you go, guys. You've learned something new.
Yes.
I'm glad you decided to listen to the voice of Cam Nathaniel today to learn about the difference between a boat that stays close to shore and the ship
that sails around the seas, the oceans.
The oceans.
Long distances.
Long distances there.
Yeah.
So this week, what have you been... Or I'll go on and ask this question here before we get into what you've been talking about this week. What's the connection to camp? So, because you've described Canada,
yes,
and you've described you went over to, was it Ireland?
Yes.
So we've described Canada and Ireland, and then back to Canada, and then on a boat traveling around the world.
Yeah.
And none of those places come even close to
Kentucky,
the southeast of Kentucky. So what's the connection there?
So the connection here is kind of one. It's the Lord. He really he directs our steps, as it's been. A lot of my devotion in reading the Word he's been telling us through the Word that he directs our steps and everything. But one of the people who work here at camp and the executive director's daughter served on the same ships as I did, and she kind of was the one that brought me here to camp and told me about the camp to come and speak. And she became a really good friend of mine on board the ship. So she invited me here, but in the last year, I'd moved down to Knoxville, Tennessee, just kind of following the Lord's voice and hearing what he wants me to do and seeking his desire for my life and moving to Knoxville.
We can name drop as well. It's Mandy.
It's Mandy, yeah.
Hi, Mandy.
I call her Miranda or Mir. So those are I tried calling her Mandy the other night at her home, just having dinner with her family, and she almost near threw up because she said she would never thought I would have said Mandy in my life.
Steven just walked back in the room for everybody.
I walked in and I heard Mandy referred to as Mirror, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, all right.
Maybe I can start that trend here, and then maybe she'll actually be humbled.
So don't worry about bringing me up to conversation. I'll just go back and listen to the episode when it gets done. So I will say this though, we may hear some more stuff in the background as we're going because in the time that we started recording this now, some campers have come into the chapel, so they're getting ready to do stuff in here. I think I don't know.
Yeah, it's about missionary hour, so
he's
I
getting ready to do
so.
missionary hour. We gotta get him wrapped up.
And that starts at what time?
2:45.
Oh, they can wait.
They come early. They like it.
They
early.
can wait.
They like hanging
out.
They probably like to quiz you a little bit too.
They do, or they just like playing the instruments out there as well.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. That
We might hear
works.
some fun noises in the back.
So, did we already talk about where he's from?
We talked about where he's from.
I don't know that.
He's from Canada.
I am the Canuck.
Really?
Yes.
So that means
Really?
So that means technically, Stephen,
Yeah.
he's doing international missions right now.
Technically,
Technically,
yes.
I am.
That is correct. That is
We,
correct.
we are the international.
Okay, well, I'm nowhere in the conversation where I need to be. So Lee, you just keep going, and I'll come in from there. If I ask a question that's already been
There we
asked,
go.
just disregard me. All right.
All right, so we learned the difference between boats and ships. We learned that he's on a ship. So what have you been, we'll go on and ask this here, what have you been teaching or sharing with the campers this week?
So the main focus of what I understood coming here to speak this week was kind of talking about the ministry that the ships had and what they do. So the first day I kind of talked about who I was, why I came here, how did I get here. The second day I talked about just kind of showing them what the ship looked like through videos and how the ship does its ministry, what places it goes and how it does its ministry in those places. And then today I'll be talking about kind of the ship life. So for those who are listening, the ship is the largest floating book fairs in the world.
Oh, you're with Logos Hope.
With the Logos Hope, yes.
There you
He
go.
knows,
Hey,
he
I'm-
knows.
He's catching up.
I'm catching up now.
Yes.
I mean, I figured with the connection with Mandy and whatnot, and
Yeah.
then so yeah, Gospel Pirate. No, I'm just kidding.
Gospel
That's-
pirates. But the main focus of that is we are able to go into countries that don't necessarily have the resources available to them for literature and Bibles and textbooks and cookbooks and self-help books, business books. So we go into all these different places around the world that are close to the ocean because you can't take a ship and put it in a landlocked country. But
You could try.
you could try. You can try. But
I don't think they'd like that too well, though.
No, probably not. A little too ambitious.
Right.
maybe a couple helicopters flying it in.
There you go. Nice.
But we would bring Bibles in and do a lot of like training for the people that are there, the pastors that are there, to go to those landlocked countries and serve in those areas to share the gospel in many different ways. And a great opportunity for people to come on board the ship and buy books and people to hear the gospel story and the prodigal son story, because some of the places that we have gone, you're not allowed to share the gospel freely. So we have to not hide ourselves. We're allowed to talk about our own experiences with Jesus Christ, but mostly it's you have to share the prodigal son story and share the gospel through that way, because it's just an unsafe place to do so.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing though. So, hi Nate.
Hi, Nate. Lots of people. Give us like five. Give us a few.
You got to look. I think this is the first time this has happened though. On you know, I'm not going back and editing this while we're doing this.
Nah,
so
just let it be.
as he slowly closes the door. So the joys of casting in the middle of a camp day.
Oh yeah,
So
all the fun stuff.
anywho, I don't. So Nate's going to get in here and set up for a missionary hour here in a second. So we may have to cut this one a little short here in just a little bit, but let's keep going from where we're at right now.
That's okay. So how have the campers been reacting?
They've been very, very, very hungry and wanting to understand more. I've had some questions and conversations of kids that are like, how do I do this? How do I get into a ministry like that? And I don't know if they are following the Lord, but I can see hunger for the Lord in their lives. And just being able to talk with them and kind of explain how they can get to the ship. And that's more of what I'll be talking about today and tomorrow is how you can actually get to the ship and serve with the ministry, because it's not just at sea, on the ship. They have ministries on shore that you can work for and with as well. And there's some here in the States that the book warehouse where they send all the books to the ship are actually in South Carolina. So that's something I'll be talking to the kids about if they ever wanted to serve in a short-term mission thing. So that's kind of what the conversations I've been having with the kids and their hunger that I'm seeing so far. Even some of the summer staff, they've been really asking, it's like, how do I do something like this? And being able to say, like, this is an amazing experience. If you have 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, this is a great experience because you learn so much about your own faith and about what God is doing in the world, and it kind of humbles you in a lot of ways.
You may have asked this already because I wasn't here. How long did you serve on the Logos Hope thing?
I don't think you've asked this yet, but I served on the Logos Hope for 1 year and the Doulos Hope for 1 year. So there's the Logos Hope is the larger of the two ships, about 330 foot long, and then the Doulos Hope, which is about 187 foot long.
Is it both the same ministry concept?
Yes, both the same ministry concept, just very different sizes and very different. It's the same ministry concept and idea, but just different focuses on different regions.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think part of that is just like, again, growing up for me, no idea. It just, and so like being able to bring that to the kids and be like, look what ministry and being a missionary looks like.
Yeah.
And some of it may be something that you're not surprised, or that may surprise you. It might not surprise you, but it might surprise you of like, hey, somebody's working on on the ship, not the boat, on the ship. I was about to say boat there. I caught myself and then, but there's people working down with the engines. There's people that have to clean and take care of, and there's people working in the warehouse to get the books shipped out. There's a lot of people that have to come together for this to happen. It isn't just like, oh, well, there's 5 people on the ship running the whole thing.
Exactly. It's a massive cog. Like there's people in Germany that are doing their work. There's people here in the States. There's people in Australia. There's people all over the world that are making sure that this type of ministry can run through the logistics of international maritime life and through the shipping industry, because we have to ship our books to the ship. They can't just fly them there or anything like that. So there is just it's a massive cog and a massive wheel that needs to work together to get this ministry done. And it's quite incredible when you come to understand that and understand the scope of the ministry, it is pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible.
Are you aware? How long has Logos Hope been a ministry?
So
it's OM.
Yeah, OM.
Right. The OM is the ministry.
Yeah,
and Logos Hope is just a part of that.
Yeah,
yeah.
So the ship's ministry has been going they had their 50th anniversary while I was on board on 2022.
Oh wow, that long, really?
Yeah, 2022 and 2023. It was in that year period. So right now they're probably like 52 years of.
Okay.
They've had 5 ships. And their whole ministry, they've had the Logos, they've had the Doulos, they've had the Logos 2, and now they have the Logos Hope and the Doulos Hope.
Now, are these like used ships? Were they at one time used for what purpose? Any idea?
A lot of them have been refurbished. Actually, every single one of them have been refurbished. They've never built a ship purposely for this mission, so they want to take things that were about to be destroyed. As like our life, we're dead to our sin, but the Lord rejuvenates us into His kingdom.
That's cool.
So that's kind of one of the things that they've done with their ships, even as a ministry standpoint. They wanted to show the people in the marine world is like, no, there is rejuvenated life within what we're doing. And like the Logos Hope, I'll just give a brief example of that. Logos Hope used to be a ferry between the Denmark and the Faroe Islands. And it was just a car ferry, and then they switched it to being the book ship. Yeah, so it's quite cool to see just the change that it's been over the years.
Well, I've got one more question because we're going to have to cut this episode maybe just a few minutes short here. How do you do with seasickness?
Oh, I hate roller coasters.
Really? So you're not big on just motion sickness in general,
No,
I guess.
Growing up, I would get car sick and all that stuff.
Wow,
and going to the ship, my parents were like, "You are going to die on that," just because of the seasickness. But I was super surprised. I don't know if it was the strength of the Lord in me or I was just so busy, but I did not get seasick once, even though we went through some pretty bad storms. in the lobby of the Logos Hope. It's quite a big area, and during the big storms, you have about 150 to 200 people sitting in there, and it looks like a refugee camp because everyone's just hurtled over with buckets in front of them, throwing up.
Oh, goodness, man.
And but because of my jobs on board the ship, I was too busy to be getting sick, and my mind was on my work, not on getting sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, man, hey, Noah, again, man, I apologize. We have to cut it just a few minutes short here because we got to get you back to where you need to be to continue to do ministry here at camp. But, man, thank you so much for being part of the ministries of Camp Nathaniel here this week. Thank you for sharing about your experiences through OM and Logos Hope and all of those things. And, man, I just pray God blesses you as you continue to minister to these kids today.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for having me here as well.
Awesome, man. All right, Lee.
So happening here at camp, just so that we're aware.
Yep.
Coming up, as this is premiering in October, we've got some weekend events coming up for some overnights.
Look at
so if your kids, or if you're listening to this and your parents haven't already signed you up, or you're the parent and you want to sign your kid up, now is the time to do it. Go on and get in there because those spots get filled up really, really quick, and we want to make sure that. We want to get everybody in that we can, so make sure to hop on to campnathaniel.org or give the office here a call, and we'll get you signed up.
I'm so sorry.
He's chewing on some ice there.
Well, it didn't even register with me. It's like a habit. I've got a cup here. I just throw some ice in there. I've never done that on a podcast before. So not the best thing to do. I understand.
I don't know. It happens.
It happens. Guys, have a great week, and we will see you back here
On October 15th.
October 15th.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys, have a good one.